Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of Recipe Redemption. I'm Mike Uyak. I'm going to try something today. I was in a Costco recently, and I ran across a big box of these Snapdragon Vietnamese beef pho. For those of you who don't know, where have you been? Pho is a noodle soup made with rice vermicelli noodles. Usually these ones, sometimes they're a little thicker. They're kind of the rice sticks kind of noodles, um usually in a very flavorful broth, or stock, really, usually with different cuts of beef, sometimes pork, sometimes chicken, but beef is kind of the standard one. Usually comes with accoutrement, bean sprouts, leaves of cilantro, slice of lime. Often made spicy with a chili sauce like sriracha. Sometimes a little bit sweeter and sweeter and saltier with the addition of kind of a hoisin type sauce. But I've never seen an instant one, or as close to instant as you're going to get. And it's, pho is it's a kind of a laborious process to make it, to make it properly. And it's really all about that broth. It's rich and umami. There's a lot of spicing to it, not heat, but things like cinnamon sticks, star anise. You kind of get in this, five spice direction, but not exactly. There's a little anise, but garlic and onion sort of simmered into it. Um, Ginger, all sorts of stuff, and just it's this very flavorful, very complex, and yet delicate stock that you then put the meat and noodles into. And oftentimes it's rare beef, that's actually just barely cooked through by the heat of the soup itself. Um, and Lots of cultures, and particularly in Asia, but lots of cultures have something like this. A soulful bowl of noodles and soup. I don't know that instant is going to be soulful, but I had to try it because I've never seen instant pho before. Now, when you open the top, obviously you have the noodles, and in this case, you get 4 packets, color coded, very colorful. The first one is this little tea bag thing. Let's open it up. This is labeled as what did they call it? This is the aromatics bag. So this is where a lot of your spicing is going to come from. Okay, I'm getting the star anise. I'm getting a lot of star anise, actually. Maybe cinnamon. I know cinnamon is supposed to be in this, but I mean, the anise is really overpowering everything else. There's something vegetal there, but I can't really identify it. But in any case, the idea is that you throw this in first, along with the dehydrated vegetables. Add water, allow it to steep for a few minutes. Then you pluck this out because it's in a tea bag. It's not edible. Mind you, the minced dehydrated vegetables, it's labeled as, where's the camera? Here we go. Vegafetti. They're trying really hard to make this fun. And to my mind, call me an old fuddy-duddy. Good food is fun. All by itself. You don't have to F around with it. The other 2 packets you add after you're done steeping. One is a concentrate that they're calling the flavor goop. Again, trying to make this fun, but whatever. Um, this is going to have a little bit more of sort of the saltiness, a little bit of the sort of a beef base. This is a beef pho, so you need to have that beefy flavor. Um, I don't know. I wonder if this actually says. Of course, it's in like 2-point font. So tapioca stir. Oh, here we go. Pho soup base. Onion, salt, soybean oil, shallot, sugar, water, garlic, flavor enhancers, MSG, spices. Thanks, helpful. So yeah, they've made the aromatic pouch, spices. Thanks. Uh, so yeah, um, so this is a soup base. There's probably some thickening in here as well. Not that the pho soup is actually thick in any way, but it gives it just a little bit more of a body to it. And then dragon tears, sriracha. They are trying too hard. But in any case, I have added hot water to this bowl. I'm going to stir the little aromatic pouch around a little bit just to make sure that it gets distributed. Pick that out. Open up my flavor goop. And squeeze that in. And make sure I get every last drop because I'm all about the flavor. I'm all about the heat. So I am also going to squeeze this entire thing, which is really, it's still a small packet, so it's not really like it's that much sriracha. It's a third of a teaspoon worth, I think. Here we are. Stir that in. So all that flavor gets mixed around. Ouch. Very little hot water. Now, there's sort of a big elephant in the room here. Vietnamese beef pho. Do you see any beef in this bowl? And I get it, rare beef in a shelf-stable bowl, you're not going to get that. Even dehydrated beef, I don't know if that would work in this, but there's no beef, which bothers me a little. I'm pedantic, but, it is supposed to be beef pho. The beef is actually part of the experience, but let's just see what this tastes like. Okay. There are light whispers of the right flavors. That anise comes through. There is an umami-ness that is reminiscent of a beef broth. Let's get some of the soup. Let's see here. The flavor's there. It is not bad. In a pinch, it's decent noodle soup. However, one problem. I usually get a big bowl of pho. And, okay, this is a reasonable serving size. I am not a reasonable person. So, I'm going to pimp my bowl. First thing, some cilantro leaves, some lime. Squeeze the lime. All this has been pre-washed, naturally. I like the sort of bite of a little bit of acid, a little bit of citrus in my pho. Next, beef. I'm sorry, vegans, but it's in the name. It's beef pho. The beef is part of the experience. I just have some thin shaved beef. I don't know from what cut, but beef. I'm going to spread that out a little bit. I want to make sure that lots of surface area of this beef is exposed. Let's see here. Running out of room on my table here. Did I? Oh, I know what I did. Okay. I've got a second bowl of this beef pho. I don't want to waste these packets, so I'm going to throw them in here. All the veggetti and everything. Sounds like I'm saying something dirty, but I'm not. Okay. Fresh bowl of boiling hot soup. I now pour over the rare beef. And then dump the noodles in. While I'm at it, I'm going to dump this other bowl in. Now, give this bowl a little more love. Sriracha, or hoisin. Ooh, hello. Give it a little more dosing of sweet and salty stuff. Now then, brilliant. Get the wet back out soon. Stir, stir, stir. Gonna give that another minute for the beef to actually heat through a bit. That to me looks like a better bowl of pho. Let's try this. Okay. Now then. Beefy beef. Cilantro gives it just that little bit more of a fresh green herbaceousness. The lime, let's point the camera at me now. The lime, the acidity from that, it gives it another freshness, takes it in a different direction, adding that sort of fruity note, a little bit of sourness. You could also do with, some people use like a Chinese style black vinegar for the same effect, but the lime is nice because it also gives it that freshness. The added kick of getting more sriracha than they provided you. I get it. They're catering to an American audience, so, we're still a little weepy. Weepy. So we're still a little wimpy in the spice department in terms of where we are in the world rankings. Uh, mm, mm, mm. So much more flavor. Um, the beef really does just make it. I mean, it's hard to really justify having beef that doesn't have any beef in it. I'm sorry. Uh, so, Snapdragon Vietnamese beef pho. Meh. All by itself, it's 6 out of 10. I mean, it's okay. It doesn't taste bad. It's a little weak, and it's a little, honestly, kind of lacking. Um, it's not super flavor. It's the right flavors, but they're just not strong enough. Pho has a tendency to kind of, really kick in the jimmy in the flavor department. So this was quite honestly a little disappointing. But if you have a bottle of sriracha, a bottle of hoisin in the fridge, just sitting around, if you happen to have a lime and some cilantro around, and if you have some beef, uh, you can turn this into a very, very acceptable bowl of pho. And you don't have to, simmer dry aged beef bones for hours and hours and hours in order to get something close. It's not bad. It just needs a little bit more that you can add to it to really take it the rest of the way. But if you have those ingredients, it's a quick and easy way to get a bowl of pho without going through all the trouble or expense. Um, a good bowl of pho is 18 to $20 now. Prices have gone up for a large bowl of pho. So, did I spend that much? I didn't spend that much. So this package, suppose I should discuss that. This package of pho, there were 9 of these in the box for $8.99. So a buck a piece. Uh, buck worth of beef. Uh, I think the limes came out to probably about 40 cents for a lime. The cilantro's tricky because it often comes in a bag that has like 6 times as much as you're going to actually use. It's a bit of a waste. This bag was I think this bag was like 30 cents, so it wasn't a huge waste. But it's still there's still some that's going to go to waste. Um, so you get a bowl of pho like substance for about $5 by the time you're all done, and because you're going to be buying these in larger quantities than just a single serving, you can actually feed 3-4 people for $5 a person. That's not bad. Uh, I think ultimately it's worth it. It just needs a little help in the flavor department. So, I guess that's my review of Snapdragon Vietnamese beef pho. What do you think? Um, I found it at Costco. I'm sure it's available elsewhere as well. Um, yeah, I'd recommend go ahead and give it a shot. It's not half bad. I do recommend getting extra stuff to add in. So if you're, I won't say disappointed, but maybe underwhelmed by this as all by itself, you can pimp your bowl and get a satisfying lunch out of it. So let me know what you think. Let me know if there are any other products I should try, and I'll see you next time here on Recipe Redemption.